Hi, I have another delightful women's fiction slash romance to share with you today, and that is Dreams of Magpie Cove. And it's by, I believe, Kennedy Kerr. I hope I'm saying it right. And what I love about this, it is the fourth book in this series. It's the Magpie Cove series. And I want to tell you the other ones. The House at Magpie Cove, Secrets of Magpie Cove, Daughters of Magpie Cove, and this one, Dreams of Magpie Cove. So many times I'm saying it, I didn't want to say the title wrong. Now, in this book, we have a woman, like in a previous book review, I told you about a woman who had a health scare. Well, that's the same situation with this book. This character, her name is Ellie McTavish, and she just is on the other side of a major surgery due to cancer. Okay, it was a life-saving surgery that Ellie had, and now she is pretty much adrift. Fortunately, she's not alone because she has a best friend named Fee. Well, Ellie buys a vintage caravan, pretty much sight unseen. And when I say sight unseen, meaning that she didn't have it looked over by a mechanic. She buys this caravan and she says to her friend Fee, let's go take a long vacation. And she's got the vacation time anyway because of her major surgery she just had. She's got time off of work. Well, Ellie is a corporate lawyer, and she had a tough life, but now that she has this job as a lawyer, she's affluent. But the question that she has to ask herself, is she happy? And taking her friend Fee and going on this impromptu road trip might give her a chance to reevaluate her life. Well, they don't get very far. In fact, the camper breaks down. Well, they're in this little village of Magpie Cove in Cornwall, and they go to the local mechanic, and his name is Mark. Mark takes a look at the vehicle and he says, listen, this thing is old as dirt. It's a classic, so it might take me a minute to get the parts, never mind the fact that I have to diagnose it. So he diagnoses the problem, discovers that I think it was the transmission and it needed an overhaul, and it was going to take at least 2 weeks. So Ellie has a choice. Either she can stay in Magpie Cove while Mark works on her caravan, or her and Fee can rent just a regular car and complete their 2 or 3 week road trip, or however long it will take until her caravan is restored. Well, they decide to stay, and they are fortunate enough to rent a house. And even though she is stranded there in Magpie Cove, she starts to settle in. Now, here's the thing. On the one hand, she's attracted to Mark, but then on the other hand, she's afraid. She grew up with body image problems, and due to the surgery that she had, those problems only gotten worse. And therefore, trusting herself with the draw she has to Mark is really difficult. As a matter of fact, it shows that the scars that she has on the outside are also scars she has on the inside. And will she be able to draw closer enough to Mark where she can trust herself with life and possibly love? Meanwhile, Ellie finds herself drawn to the group of local women that are there in Magpie Cove. Women that we met, and at least I did because I have read all of the previous books in the series. And she finds herself involved with them, drawn to them. And then there's one particular woman who is ultimately, I won't tell you who she is and how she connects, but there's a woman that she runs across, and this creates a tentative, if not, and most actually definitely dangerous situation that changes the course of Ellie's time there in Magpie Cove. Now, let me tell you something. cancer is something that has affected my family, and I'm sure that most people know at least one person in their life who has dealt with cancer. I've lost several family members to that dreadful disease, and I know people in my everyday life, even today, who are coping with that terrible disease. But she's got a clean bill of health. She's in a recovery phase. And now she has to figure out where to go from here. And remember I said that she's a corporate lawyer? Now she has to ask herself how she feels about law and her career. And then you have the fact that there's a chance for love. And not only a chance for love, this book isn't just a love story. It's more, it's kind of like a women's fiction slow burn / romance, okay? Because it deals with strong friendships. Ellie's strong friendship with Fee, and also with all the women that we met in the previous books in the series, okay? Now, I love the fact that they were traveling in a caravan, because my guilty pleasure on YouTube is van life, bus life, and tiny homes. I just can't get enough of those videos. So when I saw that Ellie was going to take off in this caravan, I thought of van life, and I was excited for her, you know. But the story was very deep, because it dealt with something, like with one of the characters, it dealt with something very serious. And this really affected Ellie and how she looked at everything going on around her. Meanwhile, there was somebody else that came into the picture, somebody from her past. So is Ellie going to be drawn to this character, his name was Roland, from her past? Or is Ellie going to act on her attraction to Mark? Plus, you have to remember her self-image, her view of herself, and whether or not she feels that she's deserving of love. I loved it. I loved it. I'm going to give this one 5 stars, because I love the fact that it dealt with a very serious illness. I love the fact that it was a slow burn romance. And I love the strong female friendships in this book. Those are the 3 strongest features of this book as far as I'm concerned. So if you want to read a good book, a really heartwarming book that will keep you turning the pages until you're done with it, then you won't go wrong with Dreams of Magpie Cove by Kennedy Kerr. And again, if I'm butchering that name, just let me know. Now, I got this from as you know, from NetGalley. It's a Bookager publication, but you yourself can get it on Amazon, and it's $3.99, which isn't much for the Kindle version, or $8.99 for the paperback version. But let me tell you, this book and this series is just so heartwarming. I'd say definitely pick it up. All right, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.